Bellator 268 Nemkov versus Anglikas, full card predation, 13 fights on the entire fight card. Now, one of them is an amateur fight, which we're of course not going to be looking at, but we do have a lot of really good fights on this Bellator 268 fight card. We got the main event, Vadim Nemkov and Julius Anglikas on short notice. We were supposed to have Vadim Nemkov and Anthony Johnson. We also were supposed to have Julius Anglikas and Carl Braxton, but of course, Anglikas was moved to the main event, and Carl Braxton will now be fighting Dovletsani Yakshamuradov, which is going to be a very good fight. We got Ryan Bader, the heavyweight champion and the former light heavyweight champion, taking on Corey Anderson. We got Brent Primus, Benson Henderson, Henry Corrales, Vladislav Parubchenko, Carl Braxton, Dovletsani Yakshamuradov, Dion Class, Sullivan Colley, Bobby Lee, Nick Brown, Gregory Milliard, and Javier Torres, Sumika Inaba, Randy Field, Raymond Pina, Lance Gibson Jr., Jaylen Bates, Rafael Montini, Jalil Willis, and Mohamed Barkhamov in the welterweight division. That's a lot of fights right there, and I'm really hyped about this fight card. Because look at the main card. I mean, if you got Dovletsani Yakshamuradov on the prelims, man, it's going to be a good fight card. I mean, if you got Jalil Willis and Mohamed Barkhamov, two guys I can definitely see being UFC caliber on the prelims, I mean, this is going to be a very good fight card. But that main card, Henderson Primus, the co-main event and the main event, I cannot wait for these fights right here, but we are doing our full card prediction, and we're going to go on to the first fight right here in the welterweight division. Mohamed Barkhamov and Jalil Willis in the welterweight division. Mohamed Barkhamov needs to go out there, keep range, use that height, use that reach, and just literally just 1-2 leg kick, body kick at range. As Jalil Willis comes in, maybe counter with a takedown, or use a takedown to set up strikes above on Jalil Willis. But Jalil Willis' boxing and hand strikes are going to be way better than Mohamed Mokaev. But again, in order for Jalil Willis to land the boxing combinations that he usually likes to land, that counter left hook and the overhand right are the main combinations, the main strikes that Jalil Willis does like to land. If he's going to land those, he's going to have to close that 3-inch gap in height, and I'm not too sure how much in reach, but he's definitely going to have to close the gap in the height and reach right there. And if that does happen, Mohamed is literally just going to back up, jab 1-2, leg kick, and get on the outside, or he can definitely counter with a single leg takedown as Jalil Willis is coming in. But we do know Jalil Willis does have a very good judo background, has good jiu-jitsu, has solid takedown defense as well. Mohamed Barkhamov is the better striker at range, really good leg kicks, really good body kicks, jabs 1-2s. Jalil Willis is the better striker inside the distance, but Mohamed Barkhamov is going to be better at range. So it really matters in the striking where the fight takes place. If Jalil Willis is able to go out there, put on the pressure, close that distance, have the fight mainly take place inside the distance, that's where Jalil Willis is really going to make the most amount of his strikes really count. But Mohamed Barkhamov has really good movement, has really good striking defense, and I honestly think he's going to stay on the outside for 3 straight rounds and win a decision right here. I can also see him mixing in takedowns as Jalil will be coming forward to close at that distance. Mohamed can definitely go down and land a takedown as well. So either way, even if he does not mix in those takedowns, I'm still going to go Mohamed Barkhamov to win the fight by a decision. But those takedowns definitely can help. But again, Jalil Willis does have good takedown defense, so I'm not even too sure there's going to be any takedowns from either fighter, because they are both very even in the wrestling and grappling game. But because Barkhamov is going to be the better striker at range, I see him just staying at range, having a 1-2 and leg kicking and body kicking, and winning the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. Really good fight in the welterweight division right there. Jaylen Bates and Rafael Montini in the bantamweight division. Jaylen Bates with 3 wins and 0 losses. Very lengthy, very tall strikers. Likes to stay on the outside and go in and out. Jab 1-2, overhand right. Really good body kicks, really good leg kicks. The striking of Jaylen Bates is very good. But what we've known him for since he joined Bellator about 1 year ago is him just going out there and pressuring the heck out of you and landing those takedowns. Decision winner over Joe Supino. Modified guillotine over Jeffrey Gloucester, and an arm bar submission. His grappling and his wrestling is very, very good. He's got an amazing double leg takedown, a really good trip takedown, and amazing ground pound. Of course, the grappling is also going to be there. Javier Montini, I'm really not too sure. The man has not fought in, I believe it's like a year and a half to 2 years, and this man has 0 fights in that whole entire time span. So I don't know what Javier Montini has been doing in that time span, but I just know he's not gonna have the better grappling. He's not gonna have the better wrestling game than his opponent right here. And to be quite honest, Javier Montini, even in the striking, is not gonna do that good because Jaylen Bates is gonna be taller, he's gonna be lengthier, he's gonna be faster, he's gonna be more powerful. So I mean, the last 2 fights that he's had, I mean, he had one fight against Marcus McGee, but the other fight was 2 years ago, and he did not look too good in the last fight that he had 3 months ago. But this fight right here, Jaylen Bates is really going to dominate him wherever the fight goes. In the striking, he's got the speed, he's got the power, he's got the volume, he's got the height, he's got the reach, and the grappling, he's got everything. So this is an easy prediction. It's one of my biggest locks of Bellator 268. I'm going Jaylen Bates to win the fight by finish, either by rear naked choke or by a decision or by a knockout in the very first round. Really good fight in the bantamweight division. Lance Gibson Jr. and Raymond Pina in the lightweight division. Raymond Pina is a very, very solid wrestler and grappler. 9 wins and 4 losses. Likes to go out there, throw some big shots, and go down for that double leg or single leg takedown. He doesn't really have a main takedown he does go for. It's just the double leg and single leg. Couple of trip takedowns here and there as well. But all of his wins are either by a decision, either by a submission, or by a ground and pound TKO. All of the losses are by a submission right there. Guillotine, armbar, heel hook, and another armbar submission loss. Lance Gibson is the more powerful striker. He's the faster striker, throws more volume on the feet. Overall, Raymond Pina just does not have the best striking in my opinion, and he's going to lose the fight on the feet. The grappling and the wrestling, Lance Gibson showed really, really solid takedown defense in the fight with Dominic Jones. Stuffed the takedown, got the headlock, transitioned to the back of Dominic Jones, and just started ground pounding the heck out of him. I don't see Raymond Pina landing that takedown. If he goes down for it, he's gonna headlock him and he's gonna get back up, or he's gonna headlock him, reverse, get on top. So either way, the Raymond Pina wrestling and grappling game plan, I don't see it doing a really, really good job, and the striking of Lance Gibson Jr. is much, much better. So either Lance Gibson Jr. goes out there, defends the takedowns, keeps the fight on the feet, comes forward, throws some really big shots, and knocks out Raymond Pina in the striking, or we see Lance Gibson Jr. actually going for the takedowns, taking down Raymond Pina and TKOing him in the first or second round. Either way, in the wrestling, in the striking, in the clinching, whatever the case may be, I'm definitely going to go Lance Gibson Jr. to win the fight by knockout in the first or second round. A really good fight in the lightweight division right there. Sumika Inaba and Randy Field in the women's flyweight division. 2 wins, 0 losses, and 2 wins and 0 losses right there. But the difference of the 2 wins, this one was 10 months ago, this one was 4 months ago. This one was 2 years, 3 months ago. This one 1 year and 9 months ago. This girl has not been active whatsoever. Her striking defense, I really did not like what I saw. I mean, her striking really is not the best. Her main game plan in her fights is literally to go out there and clinch. That is it. She clinches with opponents, and she just starts throwing knees to the body, and that is pretty much it. Knees to the body, elbows in the clinch, body shots in the clinch. That is it. She has not the best striking at all, not the best wrestling or grappling, just clinch you up and beat you in the clinch. That's all she's really trying to do. And fighting a girl like Sumika Inaba, who's really good at getting out of the clinch and is going to have a significant striking advantage, this is such an easy fight right here for me to predict. Sumika Inaba is going to go out there, put on the pressure on Randy Field, who just does not have any striking whatsoever, and Sumika Inaba is going to knock her out. She's got a really good left hook, right hook, left uppercut combination, really good body kicks, left high kicks as well. I mean, the kicking game of Sumika Inaba, the pressure, the power, the speed of Sumika Inaba is going to be way too much. Easy prediction right here. Sumika Inaba is going to go out there and knock this Randy Field out in the first or second round. Really easy prediction in my opinion. In the women's flyweight division right there. Javier Torres and Gregory Milliard in the middleweight division. Gregory Milliard, we already know the game plan. Go out there, throw some big shots, double leg takedown. That is the game plan of Gregory Milliard. Now we know the game plan wasn't really that successful in the last fight with Julius Anglikas, who is a guy that you might recognize from the poster of the main event for Bellator 268, as he's gonna fight in the main event right there. That is the only loss in the last 8 fights for Gregory Milliard, something like that. It's like 8 fights, I believe. Might be like 6 or 7. I'm really not too sure, but we know the game plan of Gregory Millard. We know even if it's not doing too good on a guy like Julius Anglikas, we know Julius Anglikas has very, very good takedown defense. I was not too surprised in him not getting the takedown, but in most of his fights, he is able to get the fight down and ground upon the heck out of his opponent to the ground upon TKO, and that is exactly what I see happening here. Javier Torres is 36 and a half years old, near the end of his career. He's going to be a lot smaller, fighting a guy that is a natural light heavyweight fighter, in my opinion. Javier Torres also, he's going to be a lot smaller, of course. He's going to have a little bit better striking right here, but his takedown defense, absolute garbage. I mean, I watched the fight with Nyman Gracie. He got taken down with the same trip takedown and double leg takedown at least 4 to 5 times, over and over and over again. Now, Nyman Gracie is a very good wrestler, very good grappler, but Nyman Gracie is not as big and as strong as Gregory Millard, who has some pretty good wrestling as well. So I think Gregory Millard is going to go out there, use that wrestling, use that grappling, take down Javier Torres, stay on top. Javier Torres is known to literally just sit in the guard and look for triangles, look for arm bars, that type of stuff. Gregory, while he's going for submissions, Gregory's literally just going to ground upon the heck out of him, and that is why I have Gregory Milliard winning that fight by knockout, mainly by ground upon TKO in the first or second round. A really good fight in the middleweight division. Bobby Lee and Nick Brown in the lightweight division. Bobby Lee, he's got some pretty good wrestling and grappling of his own, but he's mainly known for really fast striking. From what I've seen in the tape that I've watched, he's a very fast striker, really good, really fast body kicks. I'm gonna say fast a lot for Bobby Lee, but he's a very fast guy. Really fast, powerful body kicks, leg kicks, high kicks, all that type of stuff. He's gonna come forward, throw some really big shots, and look for the knockout on Nick Brown. He doesn't have too many knockouts on his record, but if he's gonna win this fight, it's gonna probably be a knockout. The grappling and the wrestling, I do think, goes to Nick Brown, and that is why Bobby Lee is really gonna need to use that speed, use that power in the striking to go out there and get a knockout or getting a striking decision. But this fight's going to be very interesting because I'm not too sure if Nick Brown's going to be able to land the takedown. Bobby Lee has shown some pretty good takedown defense in the past. Oh, sorry, but I had a burp. But Nick Brown is a very good wrestler and grappler. Out of all of his wins right there, 11 wins and 1 losses. Rear naked, decision, knee bar submission, ground upon TKO, rear naked, ground upon TKO, and a rear naked choke submission. Every single time he's going out there, putting on some pressure on the feet, double legging you, trip takedowns against the cage, and just ground upon for the decision, or getting that submission or ground upon TKO. That is the most likely outcome I see right here for Nick Brown and Bobby Lee, but I don't agree with the odds right here. I mean, if I can find the odds right here, minus 300, that is insane. For a guy in Bobby Lee who also has some really good wrestling and grappling, most of his wins are submission and ground upon TKOs. He's got very solid takedown defense, and arguably is going to have the better striking than Nick Brown. I think it's a much closer fight than those betting odds that do suggest, but I'm still going to slightly lean Nick Brown. Again, minus 300 is absolutely crazy in my opinion, but Nick Brown should definitely go out there and out-wrestle, out-grapple Bobby Lee right here to a unanimous decision. I don't think he finishes him. I have him winning the fight by unanimous decision. Nick Brown out-wrestling, out-grappling, and ground-pounding for the decision win right there. Again, much closer than the betting odds, but my prediction, Nick Brown by a decision. Sullivan Colley and Dion Clash in the light heavyweight division. Dion Clash, he has not fought in a while. I mean, his last fight was 2 years 5 months ago. Before that, 3 years 2 months ago. Before that, 4 years 2 months ago. Before that, 5 years 5 months ago. Before that, 6 years and 7 months ago. This man is not an active fighter whatsoever. He's only 29 years old, but he's going to get knocked out. I'm going to be honest with you. This is like the easiest prediction in my opinion. Dion Clash, from the film I've seen, 2.5 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Yeah, he's got some pretty good grappling, but Sullivan Cauley training with Ryan Bader, who's also on this fight card. You see the picture. He does have some really good wrestling and grappling. Even if Dion Clash will have the grappling and submission advantage, he's not gonna take down Sullivan Cauley. He's got way too good of wrestling, way too good of grappling as well, and the fight's probably gonna stay on the feet, or we'll see Sullivan Cauley actually being the one that initiates the wrestling to maybe get a ground upon TKO. But overall, I see the fight staying on the feet. Sullivan Cauley defending the takedowns of the better grappler in Dion Clash, keeping the fight on the feet and doing exactly what he did last time against Jason Markland, and just coming forward with a big combination and knocking Dion Clash out with a big right hook in the first or second round. Easy prediction. Dion Clash's striking is nowhere near Sullivan Cauley. The wrestling is nowhere near Sullivan Cauley. Maybe the grappling is, but he's not going to be able to get the fight down to actually use that grappling. So easy prediction right here. KO TKO win for Sullivan Cauley in the first or second round. A really good fight in the light heavyweight division. Carla Braxton and Dovletsan Yagshimuradov in the light heavyweight division. All I gotta say right here, it's gonna be a good fight. In my opinion, if we don't see a really high wrestling and grappling game from Carla Braxton. I know Dovletsan Yagshimuradov has some really solid takedown defense, but I don't know if he's going to be able to defend all of the takedowns from Carla Braxton right here. Carla Braxton is the favorite on the card, 12 wins and 3 losses. He's going to be a little bit lengthier, a little bit taller by 3 inches, 3.5 inches on reach. So on the feet, he's going to be looking to stay in range, jab and 1-2, and leg kicking and body kicking. But again, the striking Carla Braxton, yeah, he's decent at range, but Dovletsan, all he really has to do on the feet is come forward and throw that jab to overhand right. We've seen it many times in all of his past couple of fights. He literally goes out there every single time, jab, overhand right. Every single time it's a jab, overhand right, and then a buttload of ground pound. That is just what he does. That overhand right is absolutely insane from Dovletsan Yagshimuradov. But Carla Braxton, as we know, has really good wrestling. We saw him in his last 3 fights with Victor Nemkov, with Almikar Alves right there, fighting Phil Davis, fighting Vadim Nemkov, the champion, and beating him, fighting Yuri Prohashka, fighting so many high-ranked guys. Valentin Moldavsky. I mean, we have a future UFC title challenger. Valentin Moldavsky, a UFC title challenger. Phil Davis, a UFC title challenger. Vadim Nemkov, the champion of the light heavyweight division. He's beating some really solid guys right here with the wrestling and grappling mainly, but Dovletsan Yagshimuradov has some pretty decent takedown defense, and I can see him, just like he does that overhand right, just literally flip that around and throw an uppercut. Do a Derek Lewis type of uppercut as Carla Braxton is coming in for that takedown, and I do think it can definitely catch Carla Braxton, or he can definitely just use that to kind of threaten Carl and make him a little bit less likely to be going for the takedowns as much, which will force the fight to mainly stay on the feet, where Dovletsan will be way more powerful and will go out there and, in my opinion, get the knockout. It's a really close fight. Carla Braxton can definitely go out there. I already know he can definitely go out there and do exactly what Corey Anderson did, take him down, go right upon TKO him, or get a unanimous decision. Very likely, but I do think Dovletsan is going to use that power as Carla Braxton is coming in to threaten him from going for the takedown, and eventually on the feet come forward with some big shots and land a big one overhand right on Carla Braxton and knock him out in the first or second round. Really good fight, and a really close fight in the light heavyweight division. Either a decision for Carla Braxton in the wrestling game, or a knockout from Yagshimuradov, but I'm going to go a knockout for Dovletsan Yagshimuradov. Really good fight in the light heavyweight division. Henry Corrales and Vladislav Pavlyuchenko in the featherweight division. Henry Corrales literally just go out there and strike with Vladislav Pavlyuchenko. I mean, Vladislav does have some pretty good wrestling, some pretty good ground pound, some pretty good grappling as well. That is the main game of Vladislav Pavlyuchenko, if I'm saying the name correctly. That is the main game. Take you down and submit you or grab upon TKO you. That is what he's done every single fight in the last, 7-8 years. That is just what he does. Take you down and submit you or grind upon TKO you. Henry Corrales, yeah, he is coming off a submission loss to Johnny Campbell in the last fight right there. But it was because he got dropped with the shot first, and then he got taken down, and then he got submitted as he was still a little wobbly on the feet. But this fight's going to be very close. I know Henry Corrales has the ability to use his explosiveness to defend the takedowns on Vladislav Pavlyuchenko and keep the fight on the feet and just outstrike Vladislav to a decision, I can definitely see that happening. I can definitely see him knocking out Vladislav in the first or second round. But I can also see Vladislav going out there, putting on the pressure on Henry Corrales, making Henry Corrales' cardio work in the second and third round, using the wrestling and grappling in the second and third, and winning a decision. It's a very close one. The betting odds for the fight are very, very close. Pretty similar to the Benson and Henderson Brent Primus odds are right there. If I can find it, I'm probably going to be blind and not be able to find it, but let's see if I can. Right here, minus 125 and then minus 105 for Vladislav Pavlyuchenko right there. The odds started at Henry Corrales being a little bit bigger of a favorite, but it's a very close fight. It can definitely go either way. It's close. I'm gonna go Vladislav Pavlyuchenko though. The reason why is I think he could be able to kind of keep it very even in the striking. Of course, he's not gonna have that striking advantage, but I think he can sort of keep it even enough to where if he mixes in a takedown and a little bit of ground and pound, the judges will still be able to give him the round on the judges' scorecard. So it's gonna be very close. I'm not gonna be betting on it. It's a way too close of a fight. But Vladislav, I do think will go out there and out wrestle Henry Corrales, keep the fight even on the feet, and win the fight in a very, very close 29-28 split decision. I would not be surprised if it's going to be a split decision. So my prediction right here for Vladislav Pavlyuchenko and Henry Corrales is a split decision, 29-28 for Vladislav Pavlyuchenko. Really good fight in the featherweight division right there. Benson Henderson and Brent Primus in the lightweight division. Now, we know what's going to happen. We know the two outcomes to the fight. Brent Primus goes out there, lands a takedown early, and submits Benson Henderson in the very first round. That is one option for this fight to happen. The other option is Benson Henderson ends up defending the takedowns of Brent Primus right here, because Brent Primus doesn't really have the best takedown offense. Benson has a really, really good takedown defense, so another outcome just could be that Benson defends all the takedowns of Brent Primus, and we see a striking fight where Benson Henderson wins the fight by a decision. One of those two outcomes is going to happen. Brent Primus by a first-round submission, or Benson Henderson just literally defending the takedowns, keeping the fight on the feet, attacking the lead leg of Brent Primus, attacking the body cage, jabbing a 1-2 and overhand rights as Brent Primus is coming in, and winning the fight by a decision. Now, my prediction, of course, is going to be Benson Henderson right here. I know it's very, very likely we can definitely see Brent Primus go out there, land that lucky takedown, which I really don't think he's going to land because he's not that good of a wrestler, but he can definitely do it. He can definitely land it, and he can definitely get the submission, but I think Benson Henderson will be able to defend the takedowns, keep the fight on the feet, and just outpoint Brent Primus, land the more powerful shots, land the faster strikes, land the more volume of Brent Primus, and win the fight by unanimous decision. Really good fight in the lightweight division right there. Ryan Bader and Corey Anderson in the co-main event, the tournament semifinals in the light heavyweight division of UFC 268, Nemkov versus Anglickas. We have a 38-year-old and a 32-year-old, so a prime fighter who's going to be 1 inch taller, who is also going to have a 6-inch reach advantage over Ryan Bader, which is absolutely insane. So Corey Anderson is coming in with a lot of advantages right here. He also has very even wrestling and grappling to Ryan Bader. They both go out there looking to take the fight down and ground and pound. I mean, he's coming off an elbow knockout win on Melvin Manhoef and a ground and pound TKO win over Dovlesani Yagshimarada, beating guys like Glover Teixeira, Ilir Latifi, Johnny Walker, and only losing to the UFC light heavyweight champion recently in Yana Blachowicz by a first round knockout. But this fight right here is really going to come down to who is the better striker. We know Corey Anderson can go out there, say ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound, go out there, land some elbows, and TKO Ryan Bader. We know Ryan Bader can do the exact same thing, take down Corey Anderson and TKO him in the first or second round, whatever the case may be. But a fight like this, a guy with two guys right here that have very good wrestling and grappling, kind of like Usman and Covington, we're going to see a striking fight. Ryan Bader is more known for kind of doing this, waiting as he coming in and just throwing a big left hook like he did against Fedor Emelianenko, like he's done against Matt Mitrione, like he did many, many other times, even against Chet Congo as well. I mean, that left hook as you're coming in, he's done it so many times times in the past, and that is the main way I see him winning, because he's not going to have the reach, he's not going to have the height, he's not going to have the explosiveness of Corey Anderson. Corey is not going to be a guy that's going to be coming in on Ryan Bader, so I don't know how effective that left hook as Corey Anderson's coming in is going to be, because it's not like Corey Anderson is going to come in really close, because he's going to have a 6-inch reach advantage. So I really don't see Ryan Bader being able to have the striking advantage right here, just because of that reach and height right there. I see Ryan Bader's main path to victory being in the wrestling and grappling game, going out there just out-wrestling, out-grappling Corey Anderson to a decision or a grab upon TKO, but I don't see that happening. I see Corey Anderson defending the takedowns because their wrestling and grappling is going to be very even. I see the fight staying on the feet. Corey Anderson being the guy that throws some more volume. They both have similar power, similar speed, but Corey Anderson being the guy that's going to throw more volume, being taller, being lengthier, will be able to land the volume even better because he's going to have that reach advantage, jabbing a 1-2-1, leg kicking and body kicking at range, and I do think Corey Anderson can use that height and reach, stay on the outside, and win a very close 49-46 unanimous decision. I'll give one round to Ryan Bader, as he might be able to use the wrestling and grappling and win one of those rounds. But the other rounds, I got Corey Anderson winning in the striking right there with his height and with that reach. Really good fight in the light heavyweight division right there. Vadim Nemkov and Julius Anglikas in the light heavyweight division for the Bellator light heavyweight belt. Julius Anglikas is taking the fight on short notice. Originally, we had Anthony Rumble Johnson fighting Vadim Nemkov again. I would have gone Vadim Nemkov to win the fight by decision super easily. After watching the fight with Anthony Rumble Johnson, and then I'm forgetting the name, Jose Gusto Azevedo, I was not very impressed. So I definitely would have gone Vadim Nemkov, but now with the main event with Vadim Nemkov and Julius Anglikas, and to be honest, the main way Julius Anglikas is gonna win is gonna be in the clinch. I mean, we saw how good he was in the clinch in the last fight with a very strong guy in Gregory Millard. He's done he's done very good against wrestlers like Jordan Young, Alex Polizzi, and then Gregory Millard right there. So the main way that I see Julius Anglikas winning is literally do the exact same thing he did with Gregory Millard. Go out there, keep at range, jab at 1-2, and use those straight punches down the pipe on Vadim Nemkov. Stay away from the calf kick of Vadim Nemkov, and literally just clinch up with Vadim, knees to the body, elbows over the top, try to cut Vadim Nemkov, body shots in the clinch as well, and use that to win the fight by decision. Keep it really even at range in the striking, and make up for that in the clinch, and use that to win the fight by decision. That is the main way I see Julius Anglikas winning, will be in the clinching game, but Vadim Nemkov is much faster in the striking at range. He's got really good leg kicks, really good body kicks at range. He throws way more volume than Julius Anglikas as well. I think he might actually have the power advantage over Julius Anglikas. So in the striking at range, Vadim Nemkov pretty much has every single advantage in terms of volume, in terms of the leg kick, which is going to limit the movement of Julius Anglikas, the body kick at range, just the 1-2s in general. Vadim Nemkov is just the way better boxer, way better kickboxer. But again, Julius definitely has a chance. He can definitely go out there and just come forward, bum rush Vadim Nemkov and get a knockout. He definitely can just use the strategy of clinching to a decision, but Vadim Nemkov has shown to be really good at getting out of those clinch situations, getting back at range, and just out-striking pretty much everyone he's faced. The only two guys that were able to beat him were guys that out-wrestled him in Carla Bryson or in Yuri Prochazka, who literally just, I believe he cut him open or something, or he got too tired. I'm not too sure what happened in that fight, but the only way you're going to beat a guy like Vadim Nemkov is literally just to out-wrestle him, out-grapple him, and just TKO him or something like that, or go out there, throw some big shots and knock him out. But I don't see that clinching game working all too well for Julius Anglikas, because Vadim Nemkov, he's just really good at getting out of that clinch, and he's just a much better striker at range. So I think Vadim is going to attack that lead leg of Julius Anglikas really fast, body kicks, jabs, 1-2s, overhand rights, left hooks as Julius Anglikas is coming in, and overall, I do have Vadim Nemkov winning literally every single one of the round. Maybe I'll give Julius Anglikas one round, but overall, I'm going to say unanimous decision for Vadim Nemkov in this light heavyweight division. Vadim by unanimous decision, really good fight in the light heavyweight division right there. Yeah, guys, that is my full card prediction for Bellator 268, Nemkov versus Anglikas, 13 fights on the entire fight card. I got Vadim Nemkov by a decision, most likely 50-45. Corey Anderson winning that fight by a decision, 49-46. Benson Henderson by a decision, 30-27. Vladislav Pavlyuchenko, 29-28 split decision. Dovlesan Yashimura by knockout in the first or second round. Sullivan Colley by knockout in the first or second round. And Nick Brown by decision, most likely 29-28. Gregory Millard probably by a TKO due to ground and pound in the first or second round. Sumiki Naba by knockout in the first or second round. Lance Gibson Jr. By KO or TKO or submission, just by finish in the first or second round. Jaylen Bates by finish in the first or second round. And Mohamed Berkamov by a unanimous decision. Really good fights on Bellator 268. Put your predictions in the comment section below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and before we end the video, we got someone commenting on the live stream saying locks of the card. So we will give the locks of the card. My first lock of the card is going to be Jaylen Bates. I'm very, very confident in him. Lance Gibson, I don't think so. Raymond Pina could out wrestle him. It's very unlikely, but I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be that much of a lock. I'll go Sumika Inaba right there. Sullivan Colley as well. So Sullivan Colley, Sumika Inaba, Jaylen Bates. I think that's it. I think that is honestly it. Just those three guys right there. But those are my three locks for Bellator 268. It's going to be Jaylen Bates, Sumika Inaba, and then Sullivan Colley. Let's see what those odds would be, just for the fun of it. Let's just see what those odds would be for all three of those people right there. So, Sullivan Colley, Sumika Inaba, and then the last one in Jaylen Bates. I mean, we can probably add like one more person, maybe Lance Gibson Jr. I don't like the value right there, but minus 114 is almost even money right there. And I do think Vadim Nemkov's right here, minus 280 is crazy, because we know you can see all the other odds makers going really up into minus 400 right there, so maybe add all of them and plus 154 right there. But yeah, those are my three. Vadim, Jaylen Bates, Sumika Inaba, and Sullivan Colley is my three most confident and my three biggest locks of the card. But really good fight card for Bellator 268, Nemkov versus Anglikas. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and everything like that, and we'll see you in the next video. Let's go.